These 4 ancient swords were forged before Japan had a capital, before it had its own alphabet, before the word samurai meant anything at all. It's hard to process just how long over 1,000 years really is. In that time, a sword may have fallen to the man who killed its owner, to the son who avenged him, to the traitor who stole it, to the lord it was gifted to. Over the centuries, swords cut down warriors on both sides of the same war, passed from the hands of emperors to the hands of grave robbers, from battlefield to treasury to temple, even to the bottom of the sea. The men who once wielded these ancient blades are gone. Gone are most of their stories, too. Only their blades survived, through rust, fire, battle, theft, and imperial decree. But not even steel is immortal. The Honjo Masamune, a national treasure widely regarded as the finest work of Japan's greatest swordsmith, was surrendered to American occupation forces in 1946, never to be seen again. These are 4 of the oldest surviving swords known to history, older than the katana itself, straight steel. None of these swords is technically a katana. The katana came later, along with its signature curve. These 4 blades are straight, forged many centuries before Japanese smiths worked out the bend that everyone pictures when they hear the word samurai. A curved edge is built to slice. A straight one is built to thrust and to chop. These 4 blades can be dated with confidence, which few swords over 1,500 years old can. Each one carries an inscription cut into the blade, naming a year or a king or both. That is why they stand apart from the thousands of nameless blades entombed alongside them throughout history. Number 4. The Ita Funayama sword is about 1,500 years old, and it wasn't found in an ancient family's treasured collection. In fact, every blade on this list came out of the ground. The mound that held it stands in Kumamoto, on Kyushu, the southernmost of Japan's 4 main islands. The sword is straight, a long, single-edged sword of about 90 centimeters overall, some 36 inches, and it is iron, set with 75 silver characters and small silver pictures of a bird, a fish, and a horse. This is a good moment to say what iron means here, because these ancient blades get called iron, and later Japanese swords steel. Every blade is iron and carbon in some measure. Steel is just iron with a carefully controlled amount of carbon. The difference is both the metal and the craft. A Kamakura-era tachi, like many of the most famous national treasures, is forged from tamahagane, steel smelted out of iron sand in a traditional clay furnace called a tatara. That technique, however, was still centuries away. These early smiths worked iron that came largely from the continent, and they worked it plainer, closer to a blacksmith's bar than to the jewel of those later blades. Crude is the wrong word. The inscription on this very sword brags that its metal was folded and refined again and again, but it is an older, simpler trade, and its straight shape is part of the same story. The text inscribed on the blade was ordered by an official named Murite. Beyond simply boasting, it promises long life, many sons, and unbroken power to whoever holds the sword. Then it names a king, or it did. 3 characters of the king's name have corroded away. For decades the missing characters could not be filled, until a second sword, the next one on this list, was discovered in a burial mound far to the northeast, bearing the same name, fully intact. Since that second inscription was deciphered in 1978, the damaged name here has been restored by most scholars as Wakatakeru, the great king most historians believe to be the Emperor Yoryaku. That name is how the sword is dated. Wakatakeru is taken to be the Emperor Yoryaku, who ruled in the second half of the 5th century, and the blade is placed in his reign. The tomb around it held burials from more than 1 generation, so the pottery and clay figures date the mound, not the sword. It is a national treasure, listed as part of the Ita Funayama grave goods, and it is held in the Tokyo National Museum. Number 3. The Inariyama blade, over 1,550 years old, and it dates itself. It is a straight iron sword, 73.5 centimeters overall, or 29 inches, taken from a burial mound at Gyoda in Saitama, just north of modern Tokyo, in 1968. When it came out, it was mistaken for a rusted bar of metal of little value among the other artifacts discovered in this rich grave. It went into storage, and there it sat for over 10 years. When a conservator cleaning it noticed a glint of golden thread under all the rust, they put the blade under X-ray. Suddenly, the X-ray lit up with writing. 115 golden characters were found running down each face of the blade that no one had ever suspected. Some corrosion analysis has argued that the iron was originally worked in Japan from ore carried in off the continent. The text names a man, Wowake, and the king he served. This time the king's name is whole and undamaged, Wakatakeru. To many it appears to be the same name the Eta Funayama sword carries in fragments, found nearly 900 kilometers to the southwest, the length of the country away. One warrior in the eastern plains, another lord on a western island, both swearing service to the same king, both cutting his name into a blade and carrying it to the grave. The inscription itself is dated to a year read as 471. Though a few scholars interpret it as 531. Either way, the Inariyama blade is among the oldest dated objects in all of Japanese history. It became a national treasure in 1983, and unlike many of the greatest swords in Japan, it never left its home in all that time. It is kept in Saitama, in the town it came from, not in Tokyo. Number 2. The Inaridai sword is roughly 1,570 years old, and it is the only blade in this list that records who gave it away. It came out of a small cache of grave goods at Ichihara, in Chiba, across the bay from modern Tokyo. It was buried with armor, arrowheads, and tools. A warrior's grave. The sword is iron, restored to about 73 centimeters, and like in Inariyama, the writing on it was invisible until it was X-rayed. Only a handful of characters inscribed into Inaridai can still be read, but the first two carry important context. They mean the king bestows. This was no ordinary blade. It was a gift given by a king to a man in a far-off province, a long way from the center of power. It's no surprise, then, that he took it to his grave. Which king is contested? Proposals run from a local warlord to a Korean monarch, and most scholars land on the great king of the Kinai, the Yamato court. If that is right, this blade is both a gift and a receipt. Evidence that Yamato's authority extended to the edges of the eastern provinces, buying loyalty with iron. Its age comes from the pottery buried alongside it, which places the burial in the middle of the 5th century. It is a nationally designated important cultural property, and it is held at Ichihara. And number 1. The oldest of them all is a staggering 1,840 years old, and while discovered in Japan, the blade itself is not Japanese. The Todaijiyama sword was exhumed from a burial mound in what is now Tenri, in Nara Prefecture, south of Kyoto. It is straight iron, well over a meter long, capped with a ring-shaped pommel of a Japanese kind, and it carries 24 gold characters down the back of the blade. Those characters are the whole reason it sits at the top of this list. The inscription opens with a Chinese reign name, Zhongping, the years 184 to 189, under Emperor Ling of the Han dynasty. It is inscribed with a Chinese date, because this is, at heart, a Chinese sword. The official record states it flatly. The blade was forged in China. Its ring pommel was added after the sword had come to Japan. Not every scholar agrees, and one has made the case that it was made locally by borrowed technique, but the museums and the cultural authorities have settled on a Chinese blade fitted out in Japan. The rest of the inscription is the maker showing off. It describes how the metal was refined 100 times over, forged on a lucky day in the 5th month, with a promise that the stars would favor whoever wore it. How it crossed the sea to Japan, no one can prove. Some speculate that it was a gift from the Han court. In the years when China was dealing with the islands it called Wa, histories describe a war among the Wa that ended with a queen named Himiko. Some tie this sword to her. That too is a guess, and an honest telling calls it one. Much can be lost to history over nearly 2,000 years. What is certain is stranger than any guess. This sword was already ancient when it was buried. Forged in the 2nd century, it was an heirloom handed down for perhaps 200 years before it was finally laid to rest in a tomb during the late 4th century. It went into the earth an antique, and it has been under the ground or behind glass for the 1,600 years since. Older iron blades exist in Japan, unmarked scraps from the Yayoi age, but this is the oldest blade that tells you itself the year it was born. It was named a national treasure in 2017, and it is held in the Tokyo National Museum. Every sword in this video outlived the men who carried it, all of them by well over 1,000 years. That is what a great blade was always meant to do, not to serve one owner, but to outlast him. At Dream of Japan, we forge blades from honest steel, made to be used hard and last to be passed on, not sealed away behind glass. You can find them at the link in the description. Like, subscribe, and join the newsletter for more real samurai history and epic sword content. Until next time, keep your edge.